Welcome back. After yesterday's rest day, it's finally time to start the next phase of our training. This 2-week cycle is going to be mainly training on this spray wall here, which is at Boulder Vault. And we're going to have a 2-day cycle that's going to repeat 4 times. And what it's going to look like is day 1 is going to be a boulder session on the spray wall. It's going to be an hour and a half plus of projecting, where I'm going to try to make boulders at my maximum level. Like during this period of training, we're not going to be doing much sending, like we kind of have for the past few days of training, just like getting the body back, feeling good and ready to train hard again. We've been kind of not necessarily climbing at our maximum level. We've been doing a lot of sending, just getting some variety in. But now is going to be the time where we're really going to be like climbing at our maximum difficulty and maximum capability. And what happens here is a lot of the time I will like work boulders in sections and bits and pieces and just trying to get like a lot of variety of like hard moves in. And yeah, like I said, we won't be setting much during this time. And then the second day is going to be the campus day and the workout. So it'll be 45 minutes of campusing, and then for the session 1, and then the second session will be a much smaller workout than what we were doing previously. Just in the meantime, I'm kind of going through a phase where I want to just put all my focus on climbing, and like the workout's going to take a back seat for a while, especially because it's going to be quite a long time before I need to compete again. So I'm just going to take a nice slower approach. So yeah, we'll have the campus day will be the second day, and then we'll be doing our hangboard and our pinch block, as well as dips and pistol squats. And so yeah, this is our first session on the spray wall. Here for this session, to kind of get a baseline of where I'm at, and yeah, like just to get a baseline, I decided, and I've done this, I usually do this quite a bit in the past. Every time I don't do spray wall for a bit and then I come back to it, I have like a repeat session. So I was training some spray wall at the beginning of the year, around like February or something when we first moved here. And I've already had I put a good 5-6 sessions on this wall of projecting. And so I decided for this session I was going to try to pick 3 or 4 boulders and just that I've already sent and try them again, see where I'm at. And I thought I would be able to send a few of these boulders that I picked, like this one here. But as you can see, I'm really struggling on this. And what I realized is yeah, I'm just not as strong as I was at the beginning of the year. I definitely have some catching up to do. Not only since we took our break, obviously I need to get back to just to feeling good, but it wasn't even just that. In this session in particular, it was weird. I was having some joint pains, which I don't usually have. My fingers felt abnormally weak and tweaky. And what I think it was is that in the previous session where I was trying to get on some more physical and crimpy boulders, that was the first time I had done that in the past few days. The days before, we had just been mainly getting on movement-based stuff, some open-handed stuff, or moderate boulders, and nothing super physical and crimpy, kind of near our maximum capabilities. And so what happened was the rest day wasn't even enough to recover from that, and it kind of bled into today where my joints were really sore from that session of trying those intense boulders. And so you can see here I start not even be able to pull individual moves on this boulder that I've already sent a while ago, and it was those first few moves on that last boulder were pretty moderate. I remember when I was trying that boulder in the past, I would usually just cruise through those moves, and it's because my fingers were hurting a lot. And I'm usually good at taking a nice slow approach, getting back into training, which I thought I had done, but it's weird. This time it's just, I think it's taking my body even a little bit longer to get back to where it was. My fingers were still really sore. So I ended up not being able to train on the splatter, on the spray wall. My fingers just felt too weak, and it felt like I was going to hurt myself. And I was noticing a bit on that first boulder, but it was it was okay. I could still try the boulder, but then by that second one, it was just enough was enough, and I didn't want to hurt myself. So what I decided to do is have a bit of an impromptu comp wall session. I could still climb as long as I wasn't grabbing hold super hard and just squeezing or crimping too bad, and that way I won't hurt myself. But here you can see on the comp wall, they've got some nice open-handed holds, some just jumping, some more technical based stuff. And I had a few boulders that I hadn't tried because they were setting on this wall the last time we were here. So this was one of the boulders that was being set while we were having our session last time, a 9, a really cool paddle move that one of the setters at the gym, Yannick, set. He's a really nice guy and he's a great setter. This is a cool boulder. So yeah, there were a couple of small holds here at the top, but it wasn't too bad. As long as I was careful, it was fine. I found that I couldn't like grab small holds or really intense holds like on every single move, like hold after hold, like really squeezing hard. That's what felt like it was going to hurt me, and like that's kind of the case on the splatter on the spray wall. That's like every hold, there's just no relief. So at least with these boulders in the main gym or on the comp wall, you know, you have like these jumps on some positive holds where you'll get a bit of relief on the hands, and not every hold is like at my maximum difficulty. So I ended up working that first boulder on the spray wall for about 40 minutes, and then like I kind of tried a couple other boulders on the spray wall, but like I said, I wasn't even really pulling moves just because I felt super tweaky. And so I had to hit the 1.5 hour minimum of the session. I had like 50 minutes left where I said, like I went and I did those 2 boulders in the comp wall that I hadn't tried, and then I just decided to go around the main walls of this gym and just do a bunch of holds that didn't look too, or do a bunch of boulders where the holds didn't look too bad on the fingers or like technical stuff, just to make sure that, you know, as we're getting back on this program, I want to make sure that I'm not skipping out on too many sessions or cutting things too short, because I need to get the volume. I need to start increasing the volume because, you know, this is like what the program is asking of me. So I can't just keep cutting the sessions short, or otherwise my body won't get used to them. So I just have to force myself to climb for at least 1.5 hours. Of course, like if I felt like I was going to hurt myself, I was definitely going to stop, but as long as we were doing these technical boulders that weren't too intense on the fingers, it was okay. So yeah, we're going around the main walls of Boulderveld right now. This gym has got a lot of wall space. It's kind of a theme with a lot of these German gyms. They've just got endless boulders all around the gym, and the quality control in this gym is pretty good too. Like a lot of the boulders are quite solid, and you can find a lot of hidden gems around the gym that like aren't even on the comp wall. You'll find some like nice comp style stuff, or like with some competition style elements, or like bouncy boulders. Like you see this here, this is like a pretty comp style boulder, and they have a few of these nice techie style boulders around the gym, which again is nice. Like it seems like this is kind of a theme in Germany and in Europe as well, is they tend to just have a lot of vert and a lot of variety in angles. So their default boulders will oftentimes just be like really well set technical boulders, which is, like I was saying, a nice change of pace from back home, where a lot, like in Canada, where a lot of the boulders that I had to try were steep and oftentimes like similar styles. Like even when it's just time to go do like the filler boulders up in the gym, they're gonna be good quality, or like a good style for me to work on, like nice technical boulders. And so I did like a couple 8s. That blue one was kind of hard, a little bit of a tricky jump at the beginning to figure out, and then that was a nice slab I just did as well. So here we're trying this yellow 8. There's no AC at this gym either. It wasn't quite the same as the Studio Block Mannheim, where they had glass ceilings and you were basically getting microwaved alive. This is a little bit better. They have like a good amount of fans throughout the gym, which provides a bit of relief. But yeah, there's a bit of a heat wave going on in Europe right now. It's super intense. But anyway, I'm really struggling to hold on this volume in the heat. I was like trying to get an arm bar at one point, which was kind of like the natural feeling for the beta. That's kind of what my body wanted to do, but my arm would just slide off of this volume. So I ended up trying to match it at the top here. It was the only way I found that I could try it over and over and over again, and I was just failing. And something they do really well at this gym, I find, is the consistency between the grades. So this is an 8 tag, and normally I won't ever struggle too much on an 8. Like 8s, unless it's like maybe a slab on the comp wall, or if it's super technical, it'll take a few tries. But throughout the main gym, usually 8s will go in 1 or 2 tries. But like, yeah, here I'm like getting my butt kicked on this one. I just can't figure out the body position to match this volume. Like the foot is kind of around in a ret, and it's just super awkward. and I could not figure it out like for the life of me. And so I was just failing over and over again. And honestly, that's kind of something as well. Like, that's an idea I had when I was making the series. When I decided to make the series, is I thought like it would be kind of useful to have this like series out where you get to see everything. You get to see all of the training of like a high level climber just put out there, and make of it like what you will. Like, oftentimes with social media as well, you'll just kind of see like the successes that people have, and just like the bits and pieces of like the success that you see in training, which, you know, it really doesn't make up a lot. It only makes up a fraction of training, is like the sending of boulders and doing this cool stuff. And oftentimes, as like a competitor, watching like your competitors succeed all the time, it can be scary. But like, you got to remember, like, most of training is just failing, and that's kind of what I want to do, is like just highlight a lot of the failures in my training, and just show like the whole process and what it really is all about. But yeah, for this session I hit my hour-and-a-half minimum, and then my fingers just kind of started tiring out, and the heat was I was starting to get exhausted from the heat, so I called it at an hour-and-a-half. And tomorrow is going to be our first day of campusing, and we're also going to bring the workout back, and hangboard and pinch block. Hopefully my fingers recover a bit more, like, overnight. Like, I don't usually get this kind of joint pain often, so hopefully it'll heal itself soon.